Good morning, Jay. Hello, hello. Let's see if my scene is done. All right, I'm wondering if I should run away from the scene or restart the whole scene because I added something to it at the last minute, so maybe I'll wait. I see Tuna Boy. Hi, Tuna Boy. Parkours. Parkours are the worst. You got a little bit farther. Oh my gosh, I just give up. All right, let's see. Oh, I guess I did. My new scene probably isn't deployed yet, so I'm not going to refresh, but I want to. All right, it is almost time. All right. I know if I refresh, it's not going to be there because it just takes more time than that. I did put an animated snowboard down here, but I did it last minute just because I want to show people like what it looks like, what it feels like, and then hopefully it works. So I will get started because it is 9 o'clock, but I do want to make sure. Can you guys hear me in world? So I can't see the screen, but I just need to run away. Okay, yay! All right, so we will get started, and these will be recorded and put on YouTube so you can watch them later. Last week's I didn't put up yet. There was just a little recording glitch with that one, so I will put that one up. That was about textures. I'm trying to think. It was about textures, right? So this, oh, not Dr. Drip. Oh my gosh, I love the names. I love the mobile names. Ah. So welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Today, I want to talk about moving colliders because for me, this is like the most, I don't know, just like the best part of Decentraland. Like this right here, like the ability to create something that can move your avatar around. And it's different than an emote. The emote that I could do, let's see, would be, I can still emote. Oh gosh, look at that twerking. I can still emote on top of this. Um, so it's different. It's like emoting is a great way to get movement for your avatar, but it doesn't always work. Like sometimes you need different kind of motion. Like if I want to sit here on this swing, I want to stand on it. Now one thing that I bet you guys cannot see, and tell me if I'm wrong. I wish I was wrong, but I don't think you can see me emoting in world on the horse. So I'm just going to ask in chat. You can't see my horse emoting, can you? Because this is like the bummer when you have a moving collider is that nobody else can see your emote. And I found this out the hard way when I made the bull riding emote, because I made a really cool emote for like bull riding. Oh, you do see me emoting. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's like a game changer. Okay, so you do see me emoting. That's great. That actually opens up a whole a whole new, it's like Aladdin, like a whole new world. Okay, so what I've learned in the past, usually it would stop the emote. So you look really cool to yourself, but not to anybody else. So actually this is like awesome. I'm gonna have to experiment because maybe they did something. I asked Foundation, like, can you allow us to emote on moving colliders a long time ago? And so maybe they did it. Like maybe this is awesome. Because what that means is like I can be a freaking trapeze artist on my horse, which is awesome. So for today, this is like a really good way. I'm just gonna chill on the horse. This is a good way of just showing you what I mean by animated colliders. This swing is something that I made, and it's, pivot point is way, way up there. But I wanted it to be like a super cool long swing that you maybe would have on the beach. And so all I did was add a collider to this so that you can sit on it and you're swinging back and forth. That's it. So that's kind of the language that I'm going to use today. Just a reminder, a collider is something that, like, if I walk into the wall and I can't go through it, that's a collider. One disclaimer on this, sadly, is that it is based on the instance of each avatar. So like when Jay was just right here, I can see her moving, but she looks like she's moving differently than me because I see myself on this bench, but it's not the same for everybody. So sometimes like this might be a limitation in what you want to make. Like I want to make for the definitely not the Olympics. I want to make for Winterfest Games skiing, a ski jump or a snowboard jump where you're going down the hill and people see you on a snowboard. So this is like a limitation where people will not see you on that. So, okay, all right, Mushroom's here. This is like the perfect example. So Mushroom is on the collider and it's working perfect for him. It's just, for me, I see it a little bit different. The best way to get around that, I think, honestly, people would have to jump into the scene at the same exact time in order to get it to work. And I've had like crazy big ideas of things we could do with that it's like, all right, that's my hack to get around it. And it's just like, all right, I don't know that it would work, but I do love the whole idea of like what you can do with it. And yeah, so my brain sometimes goes crazy because I'm like, do you guys realize like what we could do? And actually today was an aha moment seeing that you can see me emote on that. All right, so I'm going to get started. Let me check our stream, go over to here, and we're going to be in Blender. Oh no, you guys are looking at my snowboard shop. So for Winterfest, I might have a few snowboards. If you guys are skiers, I am so sorry, but like designs just show up better, so much better on snowboards. I'm going to wait and make sure that my stream is caught up before I move on. Yep, looks good. Okay, so I'm making snowboards not because they're superior, even though everybody knows that they are superior to skiing. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get slaughtered. But they just fit the design better. Okay, so here we go, you guys. I'm gonna try to be super basic because I'm assuming that people, you might be familiar with the Creator Hub and now you're coming into Blender. I'm gonna try to go slow enough that we can work through this together. So, as always, first thing you're gonna see is the box, the triangle, and the little sun. I know they all have technical names, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna left click, drag, highlight those, and then X and delete them. I don't need them. I never do, ever. I mean, if I do, it's a long way in the future. And usually I delete the cube too, but today I might just leave it because we're gonna, like it works for what we want to do. I just copied and pasted my snowboard, even though I didn't walk through those steps, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to explain everything I do. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not highlighted on my cube. I'm going to click down here Doesn't matter where. I just don't want to be highlighted on the cube. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste my object, and that will bring in my snowboard, which is actually giant compared to what I want it to be, but that's okay. Now, if I didn't do that, if I had clicked on the cube and then right click, paste, oh, see, it wants to like prove me wrong. But if I do that with like a new object, it'll actually attach the two. So never mind. I'm like learning so many things today. I'm like, why? All right, there we go. So I'm going to click on this and bring my snowboard over right by that cube. It doesn't matter that this is like ginormous, because when I imported it into the scene today, it was like a snowboard for a giant, and all I have to do is just make it smaller. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to use the shaping tool or just the sizing tool to make this collider about the same footprint as the snowboard. Now, I could go actually wider because you're not going to see the cube, the square, but you're going to stand on it. And so if it's a little bit bigger than the snowboard, then you have a little bit more surface area to stand on. So if you want to make this easy for your customer or your guest or your avatar, you could make it like this, where they're gonna stand on this thing. This would be like the blue bunny hill, right? They're not gonna fall off. But if you want to be like, no, suckers, you better know your stuff, you could make your collider this big, which means the avatar really has to be standing like in the right spot. I used that method when I made the bull riding asset for Buffalo. And there literally was a specific way that you could stand on that. And if you kind of figured out where it was, you would have an advantage. And so that's why it was like, it was a challenge for some people. Okay, so that looks good. I could talk your ear off, but really, like, this is so simple. I kind of just want to show you how to do it and then like walk you through it because it is so easy to do. But the order is like what kills me. So I literally right here on my desk, I have 3 words written on my wall. And because it's the order that you have to click these in. And I'm always like, what is it? What is the order? And I have to give credit to KJ Walker for helping me with this one. So for a long time, I would go and like look at the message that we had. And like the 3 words are collider, asset, parent. That is the order you click them in. Oops, but we didn't make this a collider yet. So click on my cube, left click on the cube, right click, rename active object, and now you're going to write model underscore collider. Now this thing is invisible, but your avatar would trip on it if you put it in the world. And you can look right over here. I'm going to do it like big so you can see it, but like right over here, just so you can see that is where you look up that name. Catch up. So sometimes if you name it wrong, like if I click on the board, this is cylinder. If I click here, this is model collider. So that's where you kind of find like, all right, which one am I clicking on and is it the right name? So this is the collider. This is our snowboard. So here we go. We're going to click collider, and then I'm going to hold the shift down and click the asset. And I can let go of the shift. I'm going to hit Control P, and then I'm going to hit Object with Transform. And that's it. Literally, guys, this is like the easiest thing in the world. The animating part is, that's a little harder. But right there, what you've just done is told Blender that this board, the snowboard, is attached to the collider. So now if I click on the board, and I move it, the collider will move with it. Boo! And I'm so glad it did, because like last week when I was doing stuff, it wasn't working. And I'm like, why? Okay, so there you go. This is the part where animating is a good thing to know how to do. So if you've done emotes, That's it's super helpful, but you don't need to be a good animator to like make some cool stuff with this. You'll notice I did pull this up from down here. Sometimes I do these things just by like nature, and I'm not even thinking about it, and I should explain it more. But if you just grab right here, this is going to bring up this little thingamajobber. And I say it like that because it's like sometimes it looks different. If you click right here, the three that you'll usually use is like Dope Sheet, Timeline, Graph Editor, NLA if you're doing emotes, but usually it's just this one. So if you get in here and it doesn't look like this, that's where you want to check. All right, next thing I want to do, make sure I'm clicking on my asset, and all I have to do, I want you to watch down here by the number 1, that's your keyframe. I'm going to make sure my cursor's over the board and hit I. And right there, thank goodness. I'm always like, when I hesitated, I'm like, oh no, what if it didn't work this time? But that just dropped in a keyframe. Like if you right click, you can see the I hotkey is insert keyframe. So that's all I did is tell it, this is the start of this board. This is number 1. Now, number 1 thing that I do is I'm like super motivated, like, yeah, let's go. And I like click up here and then I add another keyframe and it doesn't work. It's because you have to move where your cursor is down here to get any kind of movement. I did a lot of stop motion. I've done, my biggest stop motion video is like 20 minutes long, and I think it's 10,000 frames of like real stop motion, like where you're sitting there like moving the little character one arm at a time, and that helps so much. So just like stop motion, if you ever did any with Legos or a kid, this is how it is. So I'm just going to, I don't know, it doesn't even matter how many frames. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to move this guy, and then same thing, I. And then if I hit play, you'll see it's not moving because right here I don't have any keyframes. I have to be patient. I don't like being patient. Boop. Okay, so if I don't like being patient and I just want to like animate, I can come over here, 60 keyframes. So when I'm doing big animations, I like to do it like this because I don't have to wait for all those dead keyframes to pass in order to see, like, does this look good? Does it move? Yep. If you're going down the hill, that would work. All right, but I kind of want it to go, oh my gosh, let's see. Should we try to make it go down a hill? And I'm trying to think, okay, like, do we want to get super complicated or not? If I just want it to move back, maybe I'll just move it back. So like one nice way to mark your spot is to hit M. So you can see I did like 60 frames and one at the beginning. So it's not really complicated right now. It's pretty easy to do the math. 60 plus 60 is 120. But if you're doing more complicated things, hitting M and marking those keyframes are really nice. Now, when I go back, if I move this, let's say I'm like, yeah, this is my starting point. I know it's probably not, it's a little bit further. And I hit I, and I have a full loop. There's going to be a little hiccup like that. Like there, back, and then it's going to like, boop, like that. It's because the keyframes don't line up, and I want them to line up. I want it to be like, this is just going back and forth. I don't know what sport would look like this. I guess, you know what? A skateboarder, like on a half pipe, or a snowboarder. So in order to make sure that my animation really lines up, I'm going to just actually go to the first one, highlight it, and it's orange when it's highlighted. Left click, right click, copy, and then go here, paste. And now you won't have that. You will just have a nice back and forth motion. Now, if you just want to animate stuff, I'd say this first 5 minutes, this is all you need. Go run. Like, I'm just going to be filling all of this, the rest of the session, just with like how to make it cool, how to make it like look cool. But I don't want to overload you with information. So like literally that's all it takes. The rest of this is just like making it, you know, kind of cool. Um, and if you were here at my, which one was it? The emo, oh, like the animating asset class. We talked about like how movement can change, like the act between keyframe 1 and keyframe 60. It's not like a car that's going 60 miles an hour the entire time. If you look at the snowboard, it slows down towards the end. It right there, it stops both ways. It does that. So if you want, let's say you don't want that to happen. What I would do is highlight these two and then hit T. And this is where you can really play. Sorry if this is like repeating, but you can play with like what this thing does. I'm like, I don't know what I would use that for, but I mean, it's cool. Sinusoidals. I don't even know what that is. I could see lasers in a club. You could have fun with these effects, right? Because you could have, you know, really cool lasers that all of a sudden, you know, they do something different. That one looks kind of like a pinball or something. I don't know. But what I usually do is this one right here, linear, because if I just want a constant speed, especially if you're rotating stuff like the dance floor, this one is perfect for rotation. I actually think the first one was way more natural for a snowboard. But just get into here, play around, you know, see what cool stuff you can come up with. Sometimes there's leg. Oh, that one's weird. Okay, don't do that one. T. Bezier, I think, is the one we want. Yeah, like if that was a half pipe, that would be super appropriate, like that right there. All right, if you are in world, I did put this into the scene, but I put it at the very last like moment, so it probably took a while to get in. But if you do refresh, you should be able to ride a skateboard right out here in the front. And so, sorry, not skateboard, snowboard. I don't know why I'm putting a snowboard on my scene, but it's you know, it's what it is. All right, so like I said, simple, easy. If that's what you want to do, there you go. You got all the tools. But I do want to complicate because I can't just leave it. I want to over-engineer this sucker. I'm not even going to save it. I don't need to save it. All right, because like nobody just wants to ride a snowboard back and forth, bro. We want to grab some pow. We want to grab some freshies. So hopefully you can see this. I think you can. All right, so let's see now if we can create the same scene and have it coming down a mountain. So can we actually make it snowboard? But I just want to throw it out there. If you just wanted to see how it's animated, that's all you got to do. The rest of this might be like, what the heck? All right, so this is why I'm like, okay, I know my snowboard is way too big because there's the gondola. I probably would be wise to like actually check the size, but you know what? I'm not that wise, guys. I'm just gonna eyeball it. All right, and then let's see. If I want the snowboard to start in one spot, I think I have to, let's add a cube. This is such a big scene. Stuff is spawning way, way, way over there. This scene is what I'm doing for Winterfest, and it's so big I have it in like 3 different parts because there's one part that when I deploy it, it's so big you can't even, like I can't move it around. I just sit there, I move it, I wait 5 minutes, and eventually I can go like see it. All right, so just for my own, like, I don't know, just to know where I'm starting at, I'm going to put a cube there because just like regular snow, it's kind of like It's all over. It's hard to know where to start. And it's kind of hard to see where the board is compared to everything else. So I can also click that. Now I'm going to move this board as close as I can. So I would want the rider. Okay, so I snowboard. I used to snowboard for my job. My record is 90 days of snowboarding in one season, which is like literally 3 months of snowboarding. Because I was a lift foreman, and so I would ride to all the chairlifts, and it was great because you got to learn how to ride in snow, in rain, in beautiful untouched powder. Oh, I was spoiled. Yeah. And so it makes it really hard to go to ski resorts now because it's like I don't want to wait in a chair line. I want to go through the ski patrol lane. So I ride regular stance. There's 2 ways to ride a snowboard down a hill. There's goofy, which is insane, and regular. So I can ride both ways, but I'm going to start, it's going to be easier to animate for me because I ride regular. All right. So, let's see. I'm going to make the color. I did change the color, I was lazy and I just duplicated, there. The little starting point is still down there, the red. The collider, I made brown because it's just going to be easier for my brain to see it with all of this white. But I've got to rename it. Model collider. All right, so I'm going to parent it again. Let me just check our stream, make sure it's good. Because I never know if it's stopped or anything. And if anybody has questions, I will answer questions at the end. I'm afraid I can't see both at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to look over at my wall where I wrote 3 words. I wrote collider. So I'm going to click on the collider, shift, and then I'm going to click the asset. And then I'm going to do Control P. For what you're doing is parenting. I don't know if I said that earlier. And then keep transform. So now when I move it, I'm going to test it rather than animate the whole thing and then find out it didn't work. There we go. So it's good to go. And I'm only going to click on the asset. I'm not clicking on both when I'm animating it. Oh my gosh, you can see how many keyframes this scene already has. Guys, this is insane. But I have 7,716 keyframes. This is going to be kind of a problem when I go to export. But for today's purposes, here, if you're here, you get a sneak peek. This is what you're going to see and how you will get up to your little ski resort. Working gondolas. Okay, but for this, I just want to click on the board. So that will affect us because I don't want to, it's kind of hard to explain. What I should do is get rid of those gondolas and their keyframes because right now I can't shorten this or I will destroy my gondola animation. And I don't want to destroy that. This is my duplicate version. Just FYI, would not mess with my original and do this. Okay, so I'm gonna hit I. Now for this animation, I want people to be able to jump on this board. So if I'm like, see ya losers, whoosh, it's gonna be a really bad guest experience. And at my mountain, I want my guests to have the best experience. So I'm gonna actually hit another keyframe right here. And you could see I actually did move a tiny bit. It's moving so slightly. So I don't want it to move. I want it to actually be the same. And that's going to give people a chance to jump onto it. So if I want to just duplicate this is another way. I could copy and paste, but I can just hit duplicate. And then if you see this funky line, that means these 2 keyframes are exactly the same. And I might actually leave it like 300 frames. Let's see. So it's moving. I'm just imagining this would give you enough chance to get on that board and then actually kind of wait a little bit because, you want the anticipation of like, oh, when is it going to start moving? All right, so now I just kind of like guesstimate. I think the more you animate, the more you can be like, yeah, okay, like that's probably good. But it doesn't matter because in the end, I'm gonna be moving all of the keyframes around, and so it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna be like tweaking with it a lot. Okay, so one thing that I would caution is the angle of the collider. There's some really cool things you can do with colliders. Like if I did this and somehow you got to the bottom of the mountain, it would throw your avatar sideways and you'd be standing there sideways. I bet you that. I bet you 10 mana that it would do that. Like you can do things with the avatar that are kind of crazy based on that. But I don't want the avatar to fall off. That's the other thing. It's like if you do that, they're gonna fall off the collider. So you need to be somewhere between I'm having a great time and I fall off of this thing. So just to play it safe, I'm probably gonna do that much angle, and I'm gonna just go down here. And what I would say, like make the big movements first. I'm not sitting here like if it was stop motion that I'm physically doing, I would have to sit there and I would have to be like, move, keyframe, move, keyframe, move, keyframe. And I do that sometimes, like in animations, depending on like the gondolas when I got to the towers, I had to do it like that. But for this, I can do the big animations and just see where it kind of ends up. All right, so out, down, slight angle, I for a keyframe. So there we go. Now the Blender animating program is going to fill in the rest. Which if you're like when I first came from like stop motion to doing emotes, I was like, what are you talking about? I don't have to add 200 keyframes by myself because that's what you do in stop motion. You just sit there and you take thousands of pictures and it's tedious. And the fact that you don't have to do any of that is like so it just feels like cheating sometimes. I'm like, this is too easy. All right, but you can see like the board right here. It's clipping through the snow, which I don't care about because honestly, your board would do that. Like, especially if it's a powder day, you're going to be sinking through the snow. If this is ugly, hard pack groomer from like 5 days ago, you would be on top. You would not, well, maybe you'd be finding a better place to snowboard. You wouldn't be here. But like, I don't know, global warming, we don't have that kind of leeway. We have to just suck it up and we have to ride on dirty snow. All right. Sorry, my computer does something weird. I can't always see the frames. So, that looks pretty good. Like, I don't want to lose the collider underneath it. So, like, see how there's not much clearance? It might actually pull the avatar off if it's like that. So just to be safe, I'm going to lift it up. Even though now my snowboard's going to be hovering above, one thing I've found is like if it clips like this, if you were like that, it would probably knock the avatar off because this right here is also a collider underneath it. So you want to almost imagine a hoverboard as much as you can. And, you might be animating something that's not on a board. You might be animating like, a sailboat or something, a car. But you've got to keep your avatar from touching any other colliders because that will stop you. It is also kind of cool because like in a real snowboard you might fall off, but it logically doesn't make sense because your feet are strapped in. So I don't know. For this one, I do want it. I don't want them to fall off. There's other things I've made recently that I'm like, yeah, you're gonna fall off. So I'm okay. Like I kind of want that natural consequence. All right. So here we go. Woo! So on a, sorry, I like my sound effects. You can see how they're kind of going into a jump, which wit is like very, woo, that's very appropriate. Like, should we, I was gonna have them just carve down the hill, but like, bro, bro's in the lodge. He sees all the, like, he sees the ski bunnies watching. He wants to impress them. So we probably want to jump and get some air before he gets too far away from the ladies. So let's get some air. And probably gonna have it a little bit like that. Poor guy, we should have him fall. Okay, no, 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 no. He's gonna, this is his first time on a snowboard. He spent $2,000 on his rental gear. We want him to have a good time. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Look at that air. So I don't know where the heck he's gonna land. This is so illogical. Like, I don't know. Down there. And then forward. So you can see every time I'm moving my keyframes, the keyframes are in this whole scene. Like all of the chairlifts their keyframes are here. Like you're not seeing them because I'm clicked on the snowboard. But if I click on this, you'll see this is how many keyframes that I animated for each gondola. So my mental health is strong. I'm just kidding, but like once you start animating stuff, you'll be like, oh, I'm crazy. All right, you're only crazy if you lose your keyframes halfway through. Okay, these are getting, this is gonna be like slow motion because you can see I'm just being lazy and I'm just throwing these two keyframes. At first they're really close together. The further away they are from each other, the slower your animation's gonna be. But that's okay. I'll show you like at the end what we do to just fix that. And especially since this is such a gigantic animation, it's really difficult to see like how far you're actually moving. So that's where they're gonna hit. And I think if they were hitting the snow, there would probably be a little like oomph, you know, you would go down, but I don't want that collider to knock the person off. So oops, see, I forgot to move that one. There. All right, so let's see what that looks like. I think it's gonna be way too slow. It's like gonna be slow motion, but let's just see. Okay, they get on their board. Whee! Oh my gosh, this is like snowboarding for oldies. So at this speed, your avatar is not going to fall off, but nobody's going to have fun. All right, so let's move these keyframes closer together. I'm just going to grab them all. There might be a quicker way, but this is how I do it. So we're just going to jam them all together. I have been riding the same snowboard for 26 years, which is crazy. His name is Dave. He's the best board. I lost him off of a cliff once. I went to give a lifty a break, and I came out and my board was gone. And I thought the ski patrollers, because the ski patrollers were kind of, if you want to see somebody with a giant ego, like ski patrollers, that scene, they have an ego. So I was like, guys, that's not funny. Who took my board? And they're like, nobody took your board. And it literally fell off the top of the mountain and went down into, like, off of a cliff. And luckily, the same ski patrollers I just said were kind of egotistical. They went down and they found it. Like, head first, just sticking out of the snow. Um, my snowboard's name is Dave. So Dave had some nicks on him and he went on a little adventure on his own, which he was like, come on, like, you're not going to take me on this? Like, all the other snowboards get to do it. I was like, bro. So, so I'm hoping I can bring Dave to Decentraland by like taking a picture of him. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm just like talking as I'm going because that's a lot of dead space. Still kind of still really slow. But you can see like it works, but it looks kind of bad. Like it should go whoop, like the momentum looks good that it's going out with like a rightward trajectory and then you'd start losing some of that like velocity. But now all of a sudden there's way more like I think it should land right about here because you wouldn't fly off and just keep flying, not unless you got wings or a parasail. So I feel like this needs to get shortened up. So in order to do that, it's like now that I have the keyframes down here, it's actually really easy. So I can just kind of back it up, hit an I, and then I got to go to the next keyframe, do the same thing, back it up, I, and then, yeah, which since now I'm landing in a snowbank, I'll have to fix that. And that one, the last one over there, I'm just going to X. I'm going to X that one. Um, and this is how I would suggest like animating it. You just have to start somewhere with the frames. Up and down. There it kind of felt like it slowed. It slowed down a little bit. So and that makes sense because if you look down here, there's a more of a distance between these two keyframes than there is for these. So I think I would keep moving these keyframes closer together. Just to make it a faster animation. All right, so let's see. Yeah, the bro's got to go faster. I mean, you're not going to get, it's not going to be really fast right here because there's barely, you know, any time to go. Most people would not start right there and jump, like, but it's okay. We're cool. We're in the digital world. We can do that. Okay, so see, that looks horrible. That looks horrible. There's like fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. And right there, I feel like he kind of lost. Let's see, right there. I guess this is where, like, if you were in physics, velocity, direction, all of that would be good. Because right there, oh, that's another one. He, like, lost it. Like, boom, down. So, I've never actually animated, like, a snowboard coming off of a lift before, like this. Whee! Okay, it looks normal up until like that right there. That's where it's kind of frumpy. So, might help if I do this. That's another spot that it's like you can see it does this like dead drop. It should have, you know, kind of a trajectory like that, but this one it just stops and goes straight down. And that's just because I like tried to adjust it. So out and then down. So I think if I bring it back out this a little ways, but then all of the ones after that are probably going to be needing to be brought out too. All right. Yeah, so like it's too slow at the beginning. It's fine like that is good speed, but once you're in the air, you are moving fast. I also think sometimes like if the collider is moving too fast, you're gonna lose your avatar. It's like the blender, like it just can't read the avatar fast enough. So let's see. There was one part right there that felt really fast. Right there. Okay, so like I don't think animators are ever done animating. They just run into their deadline. So I think like I could sit here all day and right now we really only started from right up there, jumping off. Um, and that's it. Another way to animate that that might have been better is instead of all these smaller keyframes, maybe just to have like a bigger, like one big gap between the jump and like where it is. So I might do that for this part. I might imagine like, all right, they landed and then probably right around there, I want them to be way lower on the hill. So I could just move my board. Find it. Oh man, it was fresh bow. They're in the snow, brah. Watch out for that tower. I've seen way too many, way, way too much carnage. Since I was nice and I didn't mind talking to people, my job in the beginning was always to go to the beginner hill and help people getting off the chairlift that had never skied before. And so my voice would be gone by the end of the day. But at my body, right, my job was called a body snatcher because we had to keep the chair running because on busy Saturdays there's too many people on the mountain. And so literally I would just have to clear bodies from the chairlift. Like after they fall, I would just grab your arm and pull you. Like now I'm like, how many OSHA violations did I probably do? But it was fun. It was saw a lot of injuries. All right, so this is another way to do it where I just did a big motion. You can see. And the speed is good. I don't have that like choppy speed that I had like if you look at it from here. The speed to me feels very choppy coming off that lift, off that run. So that was like kind of a bad way to do it. Whereas this is super smooth, but you can see it's under the snow. So now I just need to come back, make sure on each of these keyframes, like I don't even this is where it's so lazy. I don't even have to do anything except pull it up above the snow, add a keyframe. And now it's because it's trying to think of how to describe this, like basically physics, it's connecting this location, this dot, with this dot. And it's going to do it with like the cleanest path. So as soon as I raised the position right here, now it doesn't sink under the snow as much, but it will, not until right around there. Um, so then all I have to do is raise it up, and you can see it's kind of like it's got snow on it, which is that other collider, which is going to be a problem. Um, we will cross that bridge when we get there. We will jump over that bridge when we get there. All right, so it's still under I. I. I'm hitting keyframe or like the I. That's why. That's why I'm saying I. All right, now I want to make sure, I want to try to like get the angle of the board to match. So I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna do some sound effects because they're just cooler with sound effects. And then there we are. All right, but it would be so much cooler. Like, this is how I went down this is literally how I got down the mountain. First time I ever went snowboarding with my brother. Now, I would say he took me snowboarding, but he just took me up to the top of the lift and then he left me. So I'd say he took me on the chairlift, but he didn't actually tell me how to get down. And I I was crying by the end, guys. I fell and somebody yelled at me. I was not having a good day and I gave up. And then, so because this is not how you snowboard. This is, if you're really good, yeah, you're going to go straight down like that. But most people turn. And thank you, brother. He did not tell me how to turn. But that's okay. You know what? I taught myself. So on a snowboard, little snowboard lesson, like if you're going down regular stance like this, it's going to be this foot that like literally all you have to do is lift up your toe to go to the left or push down your toe to go to the right. So now you guys, you got a little snowboard lesson. It's a little more complicated, but basically that's it. Like that's most of it. So I'm going to do that. So now let's see. We'd see a little bit of motion, and now because of that, I want the next keyframe. If we really like we're steering, and we want our peoples to be having a good time, they're gonna be, they're gonna be over here. And then if they're going a little forward, and then we're gonna like turn. Might have to lift it up because in order to turn it, it's going to get that other collider. I don't think that much would stop the avatar. There we go. And I think it's going to make a difference if I point it a different way. Like sometimes it might just be the experience, but it might be also just pointing. Because then your avatar is going to be facing different ways. That looked really bad. Okay. All right. So when you turn, like, you gotta be kind of aggressive. Like, so let's see. Yeah, that looks better. One thing that definitely is if you're gonna try something like this and you want to do like animation colliders, do something that like do something that because otherwise you're gonna probably get it like wrong. Like I think I still got it wrong. It's that right there. Going down to left, and now that right there. They need to kick. I don't know. I can imagine what they're doing. They would have to kick. That's like the tail out to get that turn. If this is done right, I think it's going to look really cool because the avatar is going to be, moved around. It's going to be facing that way. And then right here, it's going to be facing that way. And actually, I might put even more of a spin. But as soon as I do that, now the trajectory should be, it's not going to be like going forward unless you're a newbie and you're keeping your speed down, then yes. Okay, I will be honest, that's how I go down a lot of mountains. Uh, it's just the way it's got to be. So let's see, how does that look? There. And then, oh, should we try to, let's fake them out, guys. Let's make it look like you're going to hit that tower. There should be tower pads, because if you hit that tower, you're going to be in bad shape. You're going to be visiting ski patrol friends. And that happened to my brother. He hit a tree. He had some kid cut him off. And he either had to hit the kid or go off the run and hit the tree. So he was going fast because my brother's just going fast, and it broke his face in 4 places and broke his nose and broke like 6 of his teeth. So I joke about it, but it's seriously like it's dangerous. So this one, you're gonna think you're gonna go like going down. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm going that way, and then it's like, psych, sucker. All right, maybe right here. I think we need to throw more tail movement in. Oh yeah, and then this one, now because we did that, we can throw some way more, maybe put an angle on it. Oh, I'm gonna get you so close to that tower, guys. It's gonna be like, I'll be so scared. Well, maybe not scared. I would be, like, if this happened on an actual chairlift, I'd be like, no. All right, there we go. And then this one, let's turn it. Okay. And then you're almost at the bottom of the chair run. So like the idea is that you'd ride this sucker down and you'd come back. I'm just gonna check this animation, see how it looks. I think that's still gotta be, I still gotta mess with that jump. I think I would actually take away all those keyframes. But that part, I think that part turned out like okay to start, just for like a little bit of work. So what I want to do then is I want to have different snowboards. I'll add some skis in there because I don't want to be a total jerk. Some people ski. Not everybody can be perfect. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do ski also, but I just throw a lot of shade because I'm a snowboarder. There we go. Okay, so the idea with this is like, if I had a bunch of snowboards up there and you jump on, you wouldn't know which one you're going to get, like which one you're going to ride down the hill. So if I did 5 of these animations, then you might be like, ooh, I hope I get the one that almost hits the tower, or like, ooh, I want to get the one that, I go into the tree well, or something like that. This is a lot. This is a lot of animation. I'm not sure how I should export this, because so far everything works, but I'm like it's 7,716 keyframes so far. And I'm thinking that eventually I'm going to max that memory out for this scene. There's not a lot of triangles on the scene, but this is a lot of moving parts. Get it? And so that's just the part that I'm like, all right, I don't know at what point will it just crash out and not animate anymore. So it might, I might be there really quick. All right, all right, all right, all right. So I'm coming back, making sure my stream has caught up, and I'm gonna look back through. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm gonna look back. Let's see. Oh, scale. Okay, so Dr. Drip said try pressing S to scale your selected keyframes. I'm gonna have to try that. Oh, Whale the Penguin. How big is that scene? 38 parcels. Because that's only one half of it. The other half, there's there's a lot. When will we see the basement? Soon. Soon. Funny you mentioned that, my friend. Um, Brothers. Yes. All right, let's see. I'm going to I'm gonna restart Decentraland right here because um like the sample one that I put is probably on the scene, and I just want to show you just because I mean I assume everybody understands what we're doing here, but just to see it and ride on it might be a good idea. Um, so jumping back into Decentraland, and I that hour just flew by, you guys. That hour, I mean, we didn't do much. We did a little bit of animation, and then it was just keyframes. It's so crazy how time can fly. Like, at least I feel like it when you're animating, and you can just get lost in it. Like, it's. Let's see. Is it working? Is it working? Where is it? There should be a snowboard here. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh no! Oh no! No! The collider's not working on it. Oh gosh. All right, I will have to do some troubleshooting on that. One thing that I learned or like that I've done recently is, oh, yeah, like, oh, I'm trying to think if that would be it. No, that wouldn't. If you're, no, 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 that wouldn't be it. I'm just thinking the size of this one, or maybe because I resized it. But okay, well, that's like the worst. That's like the worst teaching ever. Like, here you go. This is how to do it, and then it doesn't work. So if you try this and it doesn't work, um, that one, let's see, Dr. Drip. I think it did. Um, that one I did before the class, just as an example. So maybe I rushed something. Or sometimes I have to go back and it's like, I got to do it again. I'm looking at it right now. It did have model collider. Um, it might have just been something with the parenting. Uh, yeah, that's a good one. Good question. One thing that I will go back to in the Creator Hub that I think could be, let me get back in here. Like if you're trying to export out of Blender, it's the exporting settings too that like kill me, especially when you're doing a bunch of this stuff and you're moving fast and you're testing and you're testing and you're testing. If you're throwing it into the scene so many times, I go to click something and it doesn't work, and I'll show you what I mean. I kind of wish that as a default, let's hope this is loading. I kind of wish that as a default, they actually had the animations loop like right away. Let's see. Let me just make sure it's on the right window. Should be. I think we just have to wait for the stream to catch up. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I'm just like waiting for the stream. Okay, so this is like the actual scene that I'm building in like multiple parts. But what I want to make sure, like make sure when you're doing these kind of things, when you import your scene into the Creator Hub, and that's all I do. I don't deploy through code or command line interface, CLI. I don't do any of that. It's all through the Creator Hub. just using Blender and Creator Hub. But you want to make sure that when you're, like I'm clicked on my asset here, if you have animations you want to show up, you have to come in and do this, start playing, and then loop. And so many times, especially if I'm testing, like right now with that snowboard, I would have tested that right away. I would not have animated all that without testing. I would have gone in, tested it, made sure that collider worked, come back. And so when you're testing and you're throwing scenes like in, then you're refreshing, going and doing it again, one of the things that you forget to do is this little piece here. So it's such a pain in the butt because you'll be testing and all of a sudden you're like, I forgot to hit those. And then you like already hit public or like preview and you close out. So yeah, those two, make sure that you get those on there too. Let's see. All right. Let me make sure that my Decentraland stream is here. Drip, I'm gonna figure that out because like there's something that I have done with this that makes it not work. And I don't know what it is because like I tried to do it on the ski jump and I did it the same, everything looked perfect, and then when I deployed it, it wasn't working. So that's the only thing is like I honestly think if I exported this again, maybe it would work. But I don't know. So like that would be my first place to look is like just close everything down, export it again, because sometimes in the past when you try to export something, like I don't know why, about the first time you try to export it, Blender doesn't work. And then like the second time you do it, it works. Yeah, maybe in Creator Hub, physics, maybe it has to do with physics or visible or invisible layers. Yes, and then also this scene that I put it here is an old, or like I deploy it through the old SDK7. And so possibly, yeah, I don't think, I mean, let me just look in my file. Maybe I did something stupid that, of course. Let's see, let me get on here so everybody can follow with me. So for Cantina, I still deploy through the old SDK7 legacy. It's taking a second to like close because this is such a gigantic scene. So if it looks like it's just frozen, it is just frozen. Oh, I might have to close it down. No, there we go. Okay, so like normally people would go through the Creator Hub like this. So this is a hack that probably you shouldn't do. But this is how I do it. I go into here and then I go into all my old scenes, like literally stuff I was building in 2020. I don't know. But this is what I use, and the reason I do this is because it just works. The screen so many times does not work if you like are using the admin tools. And so I know this is just like I know Foundation is like, what are you talking about? Why are you still doing it that way? But I'm like, because it works. All right, so here's my thingamajobber. And there's, I did it. I did start playing and loop, but maybe there's just something funky with the old SDK7. It wouldn't be too many triangles, but I don't know. It just could be something with that. So I will go through. I'll put that in again. Because this guy works. So I know it works. It's just like, I think it's an export setting probably. Okie dokie. So please, like, you guys, this is one of the, like I said, this is one of the more fun things that you can do in Decentraland. In my opinion, like, imagine what you could do with, like, movement. If you can if you can have people ride a snowboard down the hill, like if anybody remembers when I had the teacup right here for Billy Teacoin, um, or I had a boat down there a long time ago, you can do so much with this. I think, like, to me, there's so many ideas I have. Like, you could take people on a moving tour. You could have a car drive people like slowly through your scene. Um, it's it's in my opinion makes it so much more fun than just if you're if you're just moving around on your own. But it's tedious. So start small. Start like I think just start going back and forth first, and then like test. I don't think I've said it enough, but test early, test often, just to make sure that it is you like working. Um, and then go crazy. Like I actually broke some shit this week that I'm so excited about that I didn't mean to do it, but it did something, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is I'm gonna have fun with this. So like the speed, the angle of your collider. I can't wait to show you guys like what I'm gonna do, like what we're gonna do next week. But I will. How about I show you just because you're here, and like the fact that you're here makes you guys awesome. Let's see. Gotta go back to my scenes, and then I'll wrap this up really quick. Um, which one is it? This one. I got so many scenes. All right, so Winterfest is starting in like 2 weeks. I should use my calendar. What day is it? Like 3 weeks. So 3 weeks till Winterfest. This like if you want to make something and you want to make something cool, like what we showed you today, like do it. Um, here's my Winterfest scene. Hopefully, let's see. Yep, you guys can see it. Um, so what I did with this, and I'm gonna try to make it like leisure, so you could go down on a snowboard or a pair of skis. And the idea is that you'd have a different experience every time you go down. I don't have the coding skills to code. Like, it'd be cool if you could actually control it, like left, right, but I don't have those skills, so I'm not gonna do that. But when this opens up, and it'll take a second just because it's a big scene. Um, but I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's pretty cool so far. I had a lot more tweaking to do. So if anybody is inspired, we still have land to let people build on. So um, let us know if you want to build on it. All right, hopefully I'm just waiting for this. Yeah, there's so many people signed up. I think we have like 3 more slots left, but we can have duplicate uh, experiences. Here we go. So you guys are gonna get the alpha right now. And there's going to be a contest, so you're going to get to see a strategy. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's a behemoth. It's so big. So big. Okay. I need to make it easier to access. I might struggle a little bit here. I still haven't made it super easy to get into for myself. It's doable, so I just have to do that. Okay, Winter Village. Enter here. Don't fall. Did I put the safety rails? I can't remember if I put the safety rails in yet. Ooh, vertigo. Okay, so when you're doing this, you guys, stop here. Do not keep going until you're ready, because as soon as you do, collider, you're gonna be cooked. Okay. So here we go. See if I can race the collider. Nope. Okay, see, that's what happened. It sometimes stops right there. So, and I think that's, like I said, it's going through and getting the collider beneath it. So that's kind of like, depending on where I stand, it's predictable. No, I did it again. All right, so let me stand on this side of it. There we go. All right, can I do it? Oh, I barely made it. I barely 32.5. I didn't even make it on the map. So there you go, you guys. There is a strategy. If I'm really good, I got to the green once, but only if I'm really good. So there you have it. Make something, guys. Build something cool. I think we're gonna have so much fun at Winterfest. So this is your inspo. Come join us. If you can build something, if you can't, just come and join us. So there you have it. Thank you everybody for joining us, joining me, myself, and I, me and my snowboard Dave. Thank you for joining us, and we're gonna see you next week. If you have more questions, post them in the chat. Otherwise, go and have a great day and build some cool stuff. Thank you guys. Bye.